What we're seeing cannot possibly be Uranus.
This week on Dark Corners, imaginary women from Uranus.
I remember you.
That's the plot. We're looking at Journey to the Seventh Planet, a US-Danish co-production set in the future.
The year is 2001.
This is the other space odyssey that happened that year.
The planet Earth is no longer racked by wars and threats of annihilation.
Not exactly prescient, but you can't fault their optimism.
Man has learned to live with himself.
So I see.
There are no limits to the imagination.
Except when it comes to female astronauts. Can't even picture it.
I'm like the commander. Space is my vocation. Women? That's my avocation.
Humans have visited every planet in the solar system, bar one.
The seventh planet, Uranus.
We'll have no silly jokes about the name.
We were all briefed by control before we left, but let's go over it once more.
For the benefit of the audience. There's not much to tell. They're going to Uranus.
My last fresh frozen galaxial apple.
But then...
Done! Carl!
What's going on?
I have waited long for this moment.
Who is this?
I shall drain your minds and bend your will to mine.
Ugh, Scientologists.
You will submit, and I shall possess you.
Or possibly Russell Brand.
A glorious amulet to protect you from corrupting signals.
The astronauts come around, but...
It was fresh. I just took it out.
Now it's rotten.
Well spotted. Despite this, they go ahead.
I wonder if they'll have a welcome celebration.
Screw you guys, I'm funny. But as they land...
Begin atmosphere test.
I'll just roll down the window. They head out.
Get your guns.
And remember, we come in peace. But there is something still stranger about the landscape.
I spent my whole childhood there.
We used to summer on Uranus.
Has any one of you seen anything alive?
Ah yeah, the trees. But even they're weird.
This plant has no roots.
These aren't just any plants, they're alien.
An apple tree.
Yeah, that seems like the smart thing to do. And the weirdness continues as they find a barrier.
It's like a wall, but it's almost invisible.
Invisible?
It looks like nothing.
Sounds invisible. They have no way of safely determining what lies beyond.
I'll find out.
No, Carl.
Who selected this team? Fortunately, Carl is fine.
His arm is completely healed.
And they settle down for the evening.
Complete with Uranian leprechauns.
Leprechauns of Uranus! But then...
There were two beautiful birch trees right outside our house. And I could see the old windmill from my room.
Huh.
What's the matter?
And there was this naked chick with $1 million in unmarked bills. Not quite, but...
I'll be here, Eric, when you want me.
What's happening?
Everything we see has been taken out of our minds.
Realizing the implications, second in command Don springs into action.
Hi, darling.
Smeg and hell, it's Pete Tranter's sister.
Well then, let's go for a walk.
It's been a long journey.
You are real, aren't you? I mean...
How can you ask me that? Just because I appeared out of nowhere on a distant planet? Yes, their memories are being made real, making this feel like an episode of Star Trek.
I wish I could have taught her my kind of biology.
But with the horny astronauts from Fire Maidens from Outer Space. Please check out our review of that.
Woman! You can say that again, with all the necessary ingredients.
The following day, they investigate the invisible barrier, this time going prepared. By dressing as Banana Man. Finding the real Uranus. Once again, Carl leads the way. It's like looking after a toddler.
Stay on the rocks from now on as much as possible.
And stop wandering off. Anyone else get the feeling Carl might as well be wearing a red jersey? Going further, they find... So that's how the planet got its name. Carl, naturally, shoots at it. And...
You have come to me.
Uranus is telepathic. There's something no one's ever said before.
Your own fears have created the means of your destruction.
They soon see an example. What the hell? Animation by Jim Danforth and Hua Chang. The astronauts flee, but what to make of this creature?
It was of the rodent family.
Really?
I've always had an abnormal fear of rats.
If that's what the rats look like in Denmark, then that's not an abnormal fear. That's pretty understandable. But why is all this happening?
I can only think of one answer that makes sense.
Don't let that limit you.
To find out what makes us tick.
There's only one course of action.
I'll see if I can learn anything from that village girl.
She looked like she knew stuff.
There is a being, a lone being on this planet.
Around this time, the movie sort of edges us towards the point that it was always going to reach.
We'll have to destroy it.
The astronauts landed uninvited on its planet, and despite their assumptions...
Your orders then are take off at once. If possible.
And what they are told...
It is the power.
What power?
Power of voodoo.
It will never let you go. Alive.
They never actually try to leave. Obviously, there is the monster, but...
What about it? The rat creature seemed to appear just after Carl fired into it.
Oh, Carl.
There could be a connection.
There could.
Gee, do you think? Prior to that point, the alien terraformed the planet, created an Earth-like atmosphere, and...
Welcome, Eric.
I'd call that pretty damn welcoming. So it's important now to make it unequivocally the bad guy.
Paradise Uranus.
Following another abortive encounter and hasty retreat, Commander Eric is injured.
You're bleeding.
Finally coming around.
You were unconscious for 3 days.
Well, I'm sure the crew have been busy in his absence. I was right. I cannot imagine a worse crew than this.
I'll stand guard. Count on me. And I'll bring my bloodhounds along.
Eric's not thrilled about this.
The alien enemy is trying to destroy us with our stupidity and our weaknesses.
Boy, you haven't got a chance. They set out to construct a weapon, using the imaginary blacksmiths in the imaginary village. Given it created all this, the alien could stop them if it wanted.
I've got more important things to do.
Like destroying the alien?
How did you know that?
She's out of your head, you idiot. Speaking of idiots, they leave Carl to guard the weapon.
I love you.
Stay back, Pete Tranter's sister.
You still have your protection.
Always use protection when hooking up with imaginary women from Uranus. While Carl is distracted, the real gun is replaced with an imaginary one. So when they face the creature... Ah, crap!
Carl, back!
Carl's been dodging that bullet a while, but they have another idea.
The liquid oxygen will freeze the brain substance, make it as hard as rock. Our guns will finish him.
That apparently works. And it's time to go.
Do as I say. We're taking her aboard.
I'm taking this figment of my imagination with me. I'll be in my bunk. I reckon we've just got time before... Damn it. It's hard to know what they were going for with this movie, especially when you hear the final music.
Journey to the seventh planet, come to me.
Uranus will never be the same. Thanks for watching. Please join us on Patreon or YouTube memberships if you have no idea who Pete Tranter's sister is. Carl might as well have doomed tattooed on his forehead. What other characters were always going to die? Let us know in the comments below.
We're overdue as of right now.